I've had a question come in about a young lad who's recently lost two of his grandparents. And what the parents are noticing is that he seems really anxious about who's next, who am I going to lose next? And that means that when he's at school, sometimes he's really anxious about if somebody comes in the classroom, he thinks they're going to tell me that something really bad has happened to my parents. How do we help him? The first thing to say about this is it's completely understandable and it's likely to get better on its own if we meet it with support and understanding. So if I were to give you an example, if your house got burgled, you'd likely be more anxious in the house for a while. You might be afraid of staying there on your own. You might be really vigilant to noises and sort of locking the doors and windows. And that's likely to get worse if what you're met with is kind of disbelief and can you just get on with that on your own. You'll feel really panicky, you'll be left with all this anxiety, it will heighten, and you might end up relying on unhelpful things to deal with it. But if somebody just says to you, flip a neck, that sounds scary, do you want me to stay with you for a few days? Actually, what that's likely to do is give you enough safety for you to be able to feel the anxiety and start to trust again that maybe things will be okay. What that means is right now he might feel the need to be closer to you or kind of not be away from you for a while. And sometimes as parents that can make us feel like, am I doing the wrong thing? Am I making reliant upon me? But actually it's kind of the other way around. If he knows that he can come to you whenever he wants, that gives him confidence or freedom to be able to say, okay, I can go and tentatively try and be on my own for a while, knowing I can come back whenever I want. And gradually I'll be able to do that more and more. The other thing I'd say is it's absolutely okay to try and talk to him about the context. Sometimes the anxiety is heightened by the way that it happened. If the loss was really sudden or it happened in a particular way, that might be part of what's playing on his mind. He might have lots of questions that he comes to you with. Addressing some of the context might help him differentiate between, okay, if I understand why it happened and why that might not happen to my parents, that could help. But you probably won't be able to make him feel completely certain that everything's going to be okay because none of us can. Actually, what we want to focus on is emotional reassurance. I'm scared. And actually, if I'm scared, it's helpful to go and say to somebody, I'm scared, and get a hug. My anxiety will come up and it will pass like a wave every single time I do that. Give some context by all means, but really just try and make him feel safe.